Hello everyone and welcome back to PGP Motorsports Park for the second winter race of the 2024-2025 winter season. Here we are in our LCQ with the bottom 10 finishers of their respective heat races. They're looking to make it into the top 4 to make it into the final, which will be going on later in this video with all 24 karts racing for that final podium. So who are the people who are competing for this LCQ?
Well, the people who are completing, at least the guy on pole, it's Joseph Checkers, who's usually in the final, and I finally got his name right. Unfortunately, it's really hard to tell who the rest of them are because they're kind of out of view. But I'll get those names to you shortly. More importantly, they're coming down the front straight to begin the race. It's a really cold day today. They're all kind of freezing out there, but the flag waver raised the flag, and the flag's waved and they're away, 2 by 2. Everybody side by side going on. And going into turn 1, Joseph maintains his lead of the race, followed by David Bostashvili, usually in the final. He found himself in the LCQ, but he still takes second place. And third, I can't tell who's in third, but in fourth is that Randy? Randy, who's also usually in finals. We have some finalists who are here in the LCQ. We got some upsets already. Only the second race of the winter season, and someone spun out in the back. Unfortunate for them, but they're coming down through the front. And in the lead, we got Joseph Checkers. David defending hard against, I can't tell who that is. I'll get the timing sheet. But in fourth, battling for fourth, is Colin Flynn. Made his way into fourth place. That might be Randy in fifth. At least depending on the helmet style. I don't think that's Randy in fifth. I think Randy made it in the final. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me.
Maybe, but Joseph Checkers is really running away with it. In this first lap, he's just made such a gap between himself and second place already. When the speed differential between the karts isn't that much, the gap is extremely impressive. It just shows the experience that he's had around the track and why he's normally a finalist. I suspect that there was probably some heat race shenanigans that put him down here.
Oh yeah, he can see he's way in the lead, and he's all like, thank you. David also gapping, but now that they've crossed the line, I could get those names up there for you. Fun fact, Aiden Romine is Joseph Checkers. He changes his name like every other race. And in second place, actually, is Addison. I didn't recognize him. He's normally wearing a different coat. But that's Addison. He's one of the newer racers out here, and he's killing it. He's doing fantastic out here. So, actually, that's David in second, but Addison in third. Colin Flynn is in fourth. So Addison found his way into the top 4 and is going to look to take his first final if he can hold it. It's a long race, though, because in the hunt in fifth is actually a new racer out here. No wonder I didn't recognize him, because I've never seen him before. That is Newton. Yes, that is his name. Newton. I met him in the paddock, introduced myself. He's first race out here, and his first race out here, he's already threatening to take fourth place away from Colin Flynn to get himself into the final. Really brilliant showing from Newton. Let's see if he could capitalize on that.
Yeah, they're rounding around double apex, going into roller coaster right now. The fighting is going on. They're in their draft train right now, and it's going to be all about getting that clean exit onto the pit straight here. There's normally not a lot of overtakes that you can do in these couple of hairpins, but if you just have that speed difference like we're seeing here, you're going to find yourself leaping around on the outside, looking to conserve all the momentum that you can get and just set yourself for a brilliant overtake in these following corners. He finds himself stuck on the outside, shaving a lot of speed, not quite able to get that overtake done. He just wanted to maximize all the pace that he had, and it looks like Joseph Checkers' lead might be under threat here. But
it is definitely under threat. We got a train for the lead here. That was David doing classic calculated David moves. He knows how to overtake, but he's not going to overcommit. Really good on David to be aggressive, but not compromising his own position. As you can see, we have a 7-way battle for the lead. And fun fact, I should have pointed this out, 5th place and below are all relatively newer racers out here. So they have a really good shot at the final today if they can somehow dethrone our top 4 and get themselves in. So you don't want to be caught up in two
neck
battles.
and neck.
Top 3 fighting it out. Don't want to fight too hard. That'll just let everyone catch up behind. But now we got a side-by-side situation. David took the lead, but will it cost him? No, it won't. They tuck very neatly into turn 4. They're not going to fight too hard, as well they shouldn't.
And that allows fifth place to close the gap a little bit right there. possibly give them the hope that they need to make it into the final. A couple more battles like that, and there's a chance that you can get dethroned from that top 4 spot and lose out your spot in the final.
Yeah, making a move in a train like that, we've seen it time and again. You try to make an overtake, and sometimes you do make the overtake, but then you just get eaten up. You gain 1 position, then immediately lose 2 to 5. It is painful, actually.
Yeah, train racing is can be very frustrating, but also highly rewarding.
It's okay, they've trained for this.
Yep. Going through the training arc right now. Yeah, still, it's 7 racers here for it, and it looks like I see a change of position. Looks like someone just made a mistake on that line and almost lost 2 positions, but damage mitigates and only loses the 1, and that gap is already forming.
That is also 2 newer racers. I hear that is Linus and Makil. I met them in the paddock. They're really happy to be out here, and I'm happy that they're having a great race in this train. Train racing is tense, to say the least, but you're always in a battle. You are laser focused. You're locked in, and the slightest move is a hair trigger. You gotta know when to pull the trigger. You gotta know when to go for it. Our top 3 are going for it. They're pulling away from Addison. Addison's being left behind to fend for himself against Newton. Newton is catching up. Let me get those paces up there. Those are their lap times.
Addison is in a scary spot right now.
That Linus actually has the pace to catch up to Addison. So Addison's 4th place is under threat.
Addison's in a very scary spot right now. They're no longer in the comfortable draft of the top 4 in front of them, so they could really get taken advantage of here going into turn 4. If they're not careful, if they're not defensive there, they're able to hold on to that inside line, but now it just looks like the battle's from 5th to 4th, and 4th place is just dropping back, ready to get eaten up, and send another contender to go after that top 3. Yeah, that gap has really closed now, and Linus is going to get that draft advantage that you can see out here. In the cold air, it might not be as much, but it's still very much there. Even if it's just warm air from the draft to warm up your fingers a little bit, because they're probably numb from how cold it is.
Oh yeah, it's 36 degrees out here. It's slowly warming up, but with the wind chill from these carts, your hands can freeze if you're not wearing insulated gloves. And it's an actual risk factor. I've actually let some people borrow my gloves when they didn't have sufficient glove protection out here. It's cold. We see someone spun out and turned. A double spin out in turn 4. They avoid each other. Really good show. What ended up happening? Somebody spun out, and to avoid hitting him, the other guy spun out. There was no collision. The walls did not get hit. Everybody gets to walk home safely today.
It's just cold. These carts get up to 50 miles per hour, and with 50 mile per hour winds going directly onto your hands, they're going to freeze up. You're not going to have as good steering control. Hopefully your shoes are good, but they tend to be protected by the pedals a little bit. But the battle for 4th still raging on. Addison still holding on to the position.
Addison's still ahead of Linus. I think this is going to be the headline battle today for the LCQ. Linus is on the attack. Linus is looking for every kind of advantage he can get. He knows he has the pace to get by Addison. It's up to Addison to defend this. Addison has everything to lose, and Linus has everything to gain, because this is for that critical 4th place spot to get into the final, where the real big opportunity to score points is. But it's up to Linus to get this move done, and it's up to Addison to use everything he's learned so far to defend. As well as good defending on the inside from Addison, not leaving that door open. Linus tries to get the inside of turn 2, but that's never going to fly, because turn 2 turns into turn 3 as they go back. Addison, really good spatial awareness, knows where Linus is at, and is keeping his cool. It's a really good display. Linus tucks back behind, get a good clean run down the back straight. And who's going to break first? They both break at the same time. Linus is attacking. Linus wants this.
Yeah, but Addison up there.
Linus down the side, and he makes the move. Addison's sleeping, and Addison. Oh no, Addison lost out, but he's fighting back down bus stop.
Too wide.
Outside of bus stop has worse momentum, and he doesn't quite make it back. Now it's up to Addison to fight Linus, but Linus has demonstrated he has the pace. It's going to be an uphill battle for Addison. Hard break for Addison, but huge second win for Linus. One of his first races out here, and he looks to be currently going to make it into the final.
That was such an impressive dive up on the inside of turn, I believe that's 6 right there. Yeah, on the dive up on the inside of turn 6, you just get caught sleeping. You got to make sure you have those inside lines, and if you don't take those, someone will find that gap and take it from you and just compromise your whole line.
I think what happened there, I think Linus watched our videos and he saw that same exact move done by Sergey in the final. I'd call that a Sergey move, because I see Sergey do that all the time and he makes it work. Now, the point of that turn 6 dive, you got to be committed and you got to know what you're doing, otherwise it's not going to stick. And as we can see, Linus has actually made it stick, but Addison is bump drafting Linus! Addison's caught up! We still have a fight on our hands! Addison's not going to let this go, as well he shouldn't. They're going to fight to the end, and this is going to be glorious. All that battling between Addison and Linus has dropped them back substantially from the top 3. The top 3 are in their own island. They don't even have to fight each other. I pulled up the gaps. David in the lead. Joseph Checkers in second, Colin Flynn in third. They're doing great. But we're side by side, down the front straight. We got Linus on the inside, Addison on the outside. Addison, can he tuck back to the inside to get a better momentum? Yes, he can, but now he's on the outside too. You don't want to be there. That is not the place to be, but fortunately, Mukil is too far back to capitalize on that.
Addison's stuck on the inside going into turn 3 and is able to...
That was... Addison kept it in. He kept that momentum going, and he took back 4th place. That was good commitment from Addison. That persistence paid off. And now it's up to Linus to respond once more. We're entering the closing stages of the race as well, so we're running out of time.
Oh, the cutback to go on the inside. They're side by side going into bus stop. Who's going to come out the better here? It looks like it's going to be Addison, who has the inside line of bus stop. And although he'll try to keep it on the inside of top of the world, will not quite have it there because, oh, never mind. He brings it back up to side by side, but we'll be stuck on the outside for light bulb.
Now, I mentioned Makil. He's right there now. All that fighting has let Makil catch up. Makil could actually find his way into the final if he could get past these two who are scrapping very hard. And the flag bearer waves the white flag as the finalists are crossing the line. But now this intense battle for 4th is on. Final lap, white flag, Addison on the inside, Linus on the outside. Makil also takes that quicker outside line to get the momentum. Addison defends the inside. Can he keep the door closed? Yes, he can. He keeps that door firmly shut. Linus is under threat by McKeel. We got a 3-way battle for the last remaining spot in the final.
This is so intense as we're going into the last chance qualifying. It looks like he kind of left the door a little bit open, but now they're all scrambling down the back straight. They're going 3 wide.
McKeel gets a 2 for 1 in the turn 4. McKeel takes 4th place away. Wow!
McKeel just showing all of... He's just been watching this fight for so long. He catches up, and now he knows exactly where to put the cart on the inside of that turn 4 straight. And they're still battling, Linus and...
That is a perfect demonstration of what battling too hard can happen. Because I worded that terribly. Basically what happened, Linus and Addison were so locked in that Mukil just snuck by both of them.
All right, but here are our top 3 finishers for the last chance qualifying. They're going up, lined up. A move may halfway be made, but it's guaranteed. They're going to finish as they were. And now Mukil, who made that brilliant double overtake, claims 4th spot and knocks out those 2 racers that have been 4th and 5th for this whole time out of the final. He claims his spot in the final, and that's where we'll see you for that 24 kart grid start. Hello everyone, and welcome to the final race of the second race of the 2024-2025 winter season. We have all 24 racers lined up. The 4 racers who finished in the top 4 of the LCQ in the back, heading 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th place. They got quite a ways to make up, and of course they're just going right back into the cold. But they might just be numb at this point and not feel the pain on their fingers anyways. But
I can relate to that on frozen endurance races. After a while, you just get used to it.
Yeah.
But starting out on pole, we got our defending champion. He's now the championship leader. That's Paulo Pettini in front. And right next to him is Sergey. So Clash of the Titans. Right behind them, also no slouches, are Sebastian and Steven. but now they pull out the front straight. Side by side, keep it nice and steady as the flag bearer waves the green flag and they're away. So we got everybody tugging that inside. They don't want to go to the outside unless you're in the back, which you got nothing to lose. You don't want to be cut out in back because you might get hit out, but fortunately, it seems everyone took it clean. But Sebastian, in all that chaos, went from third to first. He took the lead of the race, followed very closely by Paulo. I don't know what happened there. I was too busy looking at the big glob, but Sebastian ran away with the lead of the race, followed very closely by Paulo, and now in third, defending is William. William took third place. And now Sergey is trying to defend fourth from Steven and doesn't. So Steven takes fourth, Sergey's in fifth, defending against Thomas. That's our top six. That was up. We got a collision in the back. Unfortunate. That is Randy and Todd.
Oh,
Payne.
no.
They were battling in the heat race too, and oh man, they battled too hard, and now they've lost everything.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, they got a lot of catching up to do. They got 20 minutes, but oh my goodness, that is quite a ways to fall back. You'd have to hope for the craziest final ever, of which everyone's just constantly battling if you want hopes of catching up.
It's okay. Todd's in a McLaren. He's got the McLaren race suit. He's got that papaya power.
All right, but
Who
Seb
else has
in
got
the lead.
power are our top two. That is Sebastian and Paulo going into turn one. Let me get the standings up now that they've crossed the line. The standing should update momentarily.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't lose too much time with their crash out. They're catching up to the back of the pack already. McLaren suit doing wonders, but Seb taking that early lead with that impressive first lap right there, and then Paulo just sticking to him, looking to possibly get past and reinstate himself as the championship leader.
By the way, in all that chaos, it was Sergey got past William and is now in fourth. So Sergey, who started in second, has dropped to fourth, and can he catch up to the top three? There's a pretty substantial gap. So Sergey is probably going to have to pick up the pace, and it's up to William and Thomas behind if they're going to let Sergey pick up the pace or if they're going to make Sergey start another train. So the trick is to bump draft Sergey. Life hack. Bump draft Sergey. That'll give him the trust to know that you're not going to make a move and you're going to push for the leaders. So they're going to have to decide now, while it's still early in the race, what the game plan is. Because if you try to be aggressive against Sergey, he will go full stonewall defense, as we've seen in the past, and you'll have no chance of making it up to the lead. But it looks like everybody's going to tuck behind pretty cleanly.
Yeah, no one gets past Sergey when he is committed to full defense. It's really tough. From all the races that we've seen here, he just knows how to set up the Sergey train engine, the wall. I might have spoken too soon. Oh no, because they're going to be stuck on the outside. Sergey, of course, has the defensive move, and now it's going to be too wide. Thomas looking to get past the Sergey train. He's going to be diving up on the inside, possibly. No, he's going to fall back into line. It was too risky. He wasn't going to go for that.
Thomas is a fighter. He doesn't want to be stuck in a train. Thomas is the kind of guy that sees a train and says, "No, thank you, I'm getting by." I'm not sure if there was enough room left on the inside of the bus stop there.
Looks like Thomas did get by, though, because he's now in 5th place instead of the 6th he was before.
Yeah, he passed in bus stop, but I saw William get squiggly in bus stop. I think Thomas squeezed him a little too hard on the inside of bus stop because the way the cart was angled on William, it looked like he dipped a front tire in the grass. So that might have been a squeeze by Thomas. Regardless, Thomas found his way into 5th, and he's going to be hunting Sergey for 4th. I bet Sergey senses this, and it's going to be on the defensive because Thomas is demonstrating great pace. So much pace that he almost made it around the outside. Now the inside. Oh, Thomas is hounding Sergey. Yeah, Thomas has thrown the gauntlet. Sergey's now in defense mode. Good luck.
And it looks like he almost has something going on. He found a line around the outside of turn 4. He's going to have to be braver on the brakes, but Sergey's just too good. He's going to show him the edge of the track right there, and now things are going to really blow up behind Thomas as there's several too wide. In fact, someone might even try to go for the dive on the inside. Nope, it's still going to be too wide. We don't have a train right here. We have a whole glob, a whole moving, rolling Katamari ball of carts just going on behind Thomas and Sergey here from that little bit of a fight that we had in those two hairpins.
Now, a consequence of Thomas's aggression is that he got caught in the train, and what that allowed Spencer to do was get past William. Because William was actually right behind Thomas, but because Thomas was fighting so hard, William was caught in a weird spot, and that let Spencer take a position away. So, William, an unfortunate loss from a position from Thomas's aggression, but we know Thomas, very aggressive.
Yep. Our top 3 battle is super close right now. They're just bump drafting each other, trying to get as much of a gap as they can away from the Sergey train. And the Sergey train, it is, as we see, probably 10 plus carts just in that train alone.
The return of the Sergey train protecting the podium with a 4-second gap to the lead. Sergey closing the door down the back straight, refuses to let Thomas even get an inch of leeway. And Sergey knows how to defend this perfectly.
Oh, but Thomas with the cutback, he's going to be looking to dive on the inside. Oh, but Sergey cuts back as well. Shows him the bumper and does not let him get past. I thought for sure I was going to see a dive on the inside, but that just was not going to happen. Sergey predicted it, and he was already on top of it.
I think this is more of making a statement than anything. Sergey declares, "You shall not pass," and Thomas took that personally.
But Thomas finds the inside of light bulb, but
and
unless he can get past and onto the inside line, which he does before the double apex.
And now it's up to Thomas to try to close a 5-second gap to the top 3. He comes out victorious from this battle with Sergey. At what cost? We're going to find out. Fortunately, we're still in the early middle stages of the race. Anything can still happen. And while all that fighting was happening, Paulo took the lead.
Oh my goodness, the move happened. Paulo saw it, and he got past Sebastian. He now leads that 3-way squabble. Felt that the gap was big enough, but now Sebastian's really on his bumper, as Paulo no longer has the draft that was being provided by Sebastian. But there's no move that can be made there. Paulo is good on the defense. Sebastian can't get past, although it looks like there could be something. Nope. And then Steven is just watching in 3rd place right there. And then Thomas now solidifying his position that he took from Sergey, not allowing him past. And you know what? Props to Sergey's pace here. I don't see a train. It's just a battle of 5.
Yeah, this isn't a straight battle of 5. The train has dispersed. The train has left the station, and they're off. Speaking of trains leaving stations and they're off, Paulo, who's in 1st, and Steven, currently in 3rd, they told me in the paddock they are strongly considering graduating up to LO206 races. So it is entirely possible that Paulo will, I guess, not necessarily be relinquishing his championship reign here, but if Paulo's not going to be racing here, then a new champion can emerge in his absence. So maybe next season, maybe in the future, after this season, we may have a new champion, simply due to Paulo going to higher motorsports.
That could be the case.
Sebastian on the inside of Paulo. Sebastian's going to try to make a move. Steven giving him the bump draft. Sebastian is going to take the lead of the race, closes the door, but now Steven side by side going into turn 5.
Steven wants the spot himself, but then Paulo's going to have the inside line going into turn 5. Things are really kicking off here. And, yep, Steven is unfortunately stuck in that 3rd place spot, not able to get anything from his bump drafting of Sebastian through. Paulo doing a great job of defending that second overtake that was rapidly coming for him. Anyone could have claimed the lead in that sequence.
That was exciting. A turn 4 move, a squabble of 3 into turn 4. That was intense. Also, equally as intense, we saw Todd get spun out earlier. Todd is ahead of the back train. He carved his way through the pack and is currently in about 11th-ish place. I'll get the actual count in a moment.
Oh my goodness, he's doing his last to first challenge.
But yeah, Todd out there making work. Shout outs to our McLaren representative. Full disclaimer, he doesn't actually work for McLaren. He just has a really cool McLaren race suit.
The roar of the carts going past that big train behind Todd. Although I'm assuming Todd just recently got in front of the train. Although it looks like there is a proper fight going on here as Todd loses out a little bit. He's going too wide. He's going to have the inside for turn 3 here. But is that going to be enough to secure that spot? No. They're going to put that cart right where Todd would want to put that cart. And he might be a little bit compromised here. I believe this is Spencer that he's racing.
That is Todd in front of James Kemp in the red helmet.
James Kemp.
So yeah, I did want to point out that big train that we just saw. Todd passed all those cars from the back. So kudos to Todd for being able to do that. I think it's the McLaren race suit doing him favors.
Definitely right there.
Bear in mind, Todd is currently in 12th place, defending 12th. But out of 24, he made his way through literally half the pack from the back. So that deserves a shout out, in my opinion.
He's halfway there, just needs to go through 12 more.
But in the top 3, Steven looking to make a move on Paulo. Steven on the outside, Paulo on the inside. Steven's mainly getting that better racing line from the second. Paulo is defending on the inside, just trying to keep up with Sebastian, who's currently in the lead.
Yep. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, the top 3 are just so close that it's hard to keep our eyes away from them. Because at any moment, one of them could just throw a move and change the lead of the race.
This whole race is a powder keg. Speaking of a powder keg, turn 4. We got Alex Acosta diving up on Sergey, making the move. Sergey's train is not really quite a train anymore. However,
looking for the return move.
Yeah, Sergey's still making that turn 5 move again. We saw it in LCQ. We see it now. That turn 6 overtake, perfectly controlled by Sergey, closing the door, and that actually lets Spencer get by Alex. Really frustrating for Alex to get by Sergey, only to lose the position as well as another one. You gain 1, you lose 2.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah, because getting overtaken, you just lose a lot of momentum. But with Sergey being the defense master, he knows exactly when to tactically give a position for the following overtake on that, literally the next corner.
All right, going into turn 1, our top 3. Are they going to explode? No, they're not. They're going to keep it clean. And we got Thomas and William in 4th and 5th. Sergey still defending 6th from Spencer and Alex. In 8th is Manny. I think. I lost count. Nah, 9th is Manny. 10th is Sam. That's our top 10. It's on the screen. I can just look at the screen. What am I doing?
Yep, stats are right there.
Oh, Sergey got compromised in the back. Back straight. Sergey's on the inside of turn 4. Alex thinks about making a hard dive down the inside. Fortunately backs out of it. That would have ended really poorly. Really good judgment from Alex not to go for that move.
Yeah. Sergey just used all of the grip and all of the track for that defensive move in turn 4 right there. That is absolutely crazy what he's able to do and get away with, especially in such cold conditions.
Yeah, it's kind of freezing out there. Only kind of. It has warmed up a little bit. I'd say the temperature's around 40 Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill, it's still really, really cold. In fact, I'd wager with a 50-mile-an-hour wind chill, you're freezing. There's no getting around that.
Yeah, developing ice on their helmets and stuff, but looks like that Sergey battle's still going on. Sergey just not letting Alex by. Extremely close race here. Unfortunately for Sergey, it is a damage mitigation race, but he's still giving us plenty of entertainment nonetheless.
I'm looking around the track to see if I can find any other close battles. There are many close battles. A lot in the back. We got some duels going on. We got that 3-way battle for the lead. We got a battle between Thomas and William for 5th. We have a 3-way battle for, we got that 3-way battle for 6th.
Yeah, I feel like it's...
Hey.
What is the gap difference between Thomas and the top 3? Are they catching?
They are kind of catching. It was a 5-second gap early in the race. It's now a 3-second gap. Let me get the lap time so we can actually see. Unfortunately, Steven's fastest lap is still slightly faster than Thomas's fastest lap. So It's unlikely that they're really going to catch unless they all start fighting, which they might start fighting near the end. It's near the end, by the way. We're entering the closing stages of the race.
And it could be a case where Thomas is getting bump drafted, but no, it's not the case. Thomas is a little bit
Battle
on the
for
defensive.
ninth. We got Manny on the inside, Sam on the outside. Side by side, Manny defending the outside in his really nice red race suit. Sam, can he make that turnaround? Almost, but the momentum around turn 2 just isn't going to quite work. So, good show by Manny. Still defending the inside from Sam. Sam is being really aggressive, wants to get Manny. At this stage of the race, you might as well duel with the person you're with. And that's what we're doing. Sam on the inside. Down the back straight. Going into turn 4. Sam makes the move down the back straight, and Sam gets ahead Manny for 10th place.
But will Manny get the cutback going into turn 6 that we've seen Sergey do? Nope, he just ducks into the back and accepts his loss of the position.
We got a spin in turn 4.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunate. Again, it's cold out there. It's easy to lock up the brakes.
Easy to make mistakes, especially if you're battling super hard. There's tons of trains all over the place. Tons of little duels going on. The top 3 gap, top 3 and 4th, I feel like the gap is falling.
The gap is clear as day now. We got Sebastian running away with it. Probably because Steven wants to get by Paulo, but getting by Paulo is literally the hardest thing to do out here. This is Paulo we're talking about, defending champion.
Yeah, I didn't expect Sebastian to run away with it. When I looked back, I was looking for the pack of 3 carts, but it was just the 2, and then Sebastian with quite the gap ahead. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Paulo tried to make a move, but it didn't quite work out.
I think what happened was Steven tried to make a move on Paulo defended, and that lets Sebastian get away. But this does close the gap. Now, we have these duels going on, and they didn't catch it on camera, but there was 2 wide in the turn 4. That was between Spencer and Alex. Alex dipped a tire in the grass. My eyes are everywhere, or at least I try to make them be.
Yep. Yeah, lots of different duels and races going on, but at the lead, Sebastian, dominant lead. Steven doing everything he can to get past Paulo here, and it's not like the case with Thomas and Sergey. Oh my goodness, he's holding the momentum around double apex. They're going to be going too wide in the roller coaster.
He got by Paulo!
Steven gets the successful overtake on Paulo Patini for 2nd place.
Insult to injury to Paulo. It is now the final lap. Paulo's got to respond now.
And responding he is. He goes for the most optimal racing line that he can. He is hugging that inside line through turn 2, looking for any gap in Steven's defense here. We're going to be going into turn 3 where it'll all be about the back straight. Paulo will have the draft advantage going into this, but Steven could just make this difficult for Paulo, and it looks like even with the draft, Paulo can't close the gap. It might be done and dusted for Paulo here, as Thomas now gets onto the back of Paulo.
It's a train.
How much worse can this get?
Oh boy, this could get dicey. Steven's gonna run away with it. Now Paulo has to defend his 3rd place. He could still get a podium, but it looks like Steven's getting away. I think Paulo's bigger threat is Thomas right behind him. Thomas smells a podium, and William as well, but there's not many corners left. Sebastian going around light bulb, then Steven and Paulo. That's a current top 3. But now, Thomas, can he make any moves?
It'll be the race to the finish line. They'll be going too wide, and it'll be too hard to tell until we get the result in club speed. Sebastian rounding the light bulb final corner to take 1st place. It's going to be very hard for him to lose that. Steven to claim 2nd.
Thomas
too wide. Going across the line.
It's a photo finish.
It's a photo finish between Paulo and Thomas. Who will claim the finals?
Gets it.
Thomas gets the podium.
Super 2nd.
Super close racing for the final. Paulo gets knocked off the podium. Thomas claims it after racing from so far back. And then, of course, there's Todd's race, who made so many overtakes through there. This is the content that we're here for. Only the 2nd race in the winter season, and the championship could be anyone's game. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to catch the 3rd race of the winter season, and we'll see you at the podium.
We have everyone here that we need to have here, so we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Thanks again for a clean race, guys. That was awesome, fun to watch. Good battles all the way through, all the way up to the final lap, final 0.02 of a second, which is impressive. Speaking of, in third place, beating out Paulo, like I said, 0.02 of a second was the gap between fourth and third. Mr. Thomas Heacock. And second place for the 79.408, Steven 50 Cal Barrett. And in first place with a 79.576, commanding win, Sebastian. That was all day.